It is currently 10:39 p.m. and welcome back to the Honey Bunch of Bros podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome y'all back to another episode. How are we doing tonight, gentlemen?
Wonderful.
Cool.
Doing great.
Decent. All right.
Decent.
Mediocre.
Damn.
Mediocre.
You know.
Interesting.
We gonna have to find out the low high what's going on. But welcome back to the Honey Bunches of Bros podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in again. Whichever way y'all do it, viewing or listening. Got another banger coming up tonight. I don't even know. I usually pause if I have something else to say, but I really don't. So I guess we can just get right into it with our low high recap.
Let's jump into it. I literally threw this on right before to celebrate, but my first high is, of course, my boy Peyton Manning being elected into the Hall of Fame. It's not like a shocker or anything, so it's not like, oh my gosh, I gotta celebrate because I didn't expect it to happen, but it's still cool to see it nonetheless. He had to wait 5 years, and it's nice to see him finally elected. So I got the jersey on and everything. A jersey I got for Christmas, which is pretty sick. These things are so hard to find. The only size I could find was like youth, and getting this thing was a struggle. But so I'm happy about that. Threw on all the gear for that reason. So that's pretty cool. Literally all my topics are literally sports related. I try to avoid that because I'm pretty bland and only talk about sports as it is on this podcast. I try and steer clear of that, but it's kind of hard to right now. Speaking of having hats on, I lost my Warriors hat, so that's my low. I'm kind of bummed. I love that hat. Literally, I have a lot of hats, and I don't really care if I lose one or two here and there. I don't wear hats that much. But man, I love that hat so much. If there's any hat I could lose, that's the one I would want to lose last. That's unfortunate. So I'm hopefully find that, but
Wait, how'd you lose it?
I don't know. I have
Yeah,
no idea because I wore it
Just
a
went
week
missing?
ago, I think. Yeah, it's just gone. I don't know. I have no clue. That's the problem. I can't retrace my steps because I can't recollect it at all. So we'll hopefully find it, but rip. My other high, again, sports related, Super Bowl, which is more of a vague one because that's exciting for everyone who watches, but I'm not too fond of either team, so it kind of makes it more interesting than a Super Bowl where it's two teams I don't have much of a stock in or much interest in. To be exciting, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, you name it. So I can't wait to watch that tomorrow. That'll be a good one.
Solid. One of my highs for the past week is I caught this flag. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just always wanted something thrown I just always wanted something to throw on my wall, and I didn't really know what else to get. And I saw this one day, and I was like, "Oh, cool." So, representing the set, you already know. Yeah, my low for the past week. I had at my work, so I work at the school dorms, so I'm front desk at the school dorms, and desk runs 24/7. And last week, bro, they placed me at two the middle of the night shifts, so that I was working from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Damn.
And
Oh, that's tough.
it was rough because I didn't because we had to we put in our schedules, and I didn't realize that I put myself as available, and I had class at 9 in the morning. So yeah.
Damn, bro.
Barely any sleep.
That's so tough.
That's not it right there.
I got home and I tried to sleep, then I woke up 30 minutes or I woke up at 9:35 or something. But luckily it was only syllabus day, so it wasn't that bad. And then my second high for the week. Is I saw my parents today. Yeah, that was cool. I haven't seen them almost in a month. So yeah, that was cool. Got a little bit of native.
That's what I miss the most when I'm back in school. Bro.
The home cooked food.
All right, bet. So it's my turn now. High, low, high. What was I gonna say again? I had one. Honestly, let me just start with the low, and then we can do two.
Damn.
I forgot what
It's
the
one
high
of those
was.
weeks.
Yeah, just skip ahead, I guess.
Okay, low. Um, I'm I was a little behind last week. I had to like watch how many lectures? Oh, I still haven't even watched two. So I'm a week behind in one class. Another class, I was like 2 weeks behind. I think I'm caught up in that one. And now I'm like a few days behind in another one, but I'll probably catch up tomorrow. But yeah, that was kind of terrible last week because I was just struggling to like keep up. I guess that would be the real thing to say. So yeah, that's not low, not high. Um, the CSU chancellor said we might, or they're looking to go back to in person next
Wow.
year. So I was like, or next semester, not next year. So I was like, thank God, because I'm tired. Because even though online school is probably, I would say, easier to make good grades, I learn way better in person. And it's like I'm not getting anything out of a college career if I'm just gonna be online, not learning anything. So that was good. And mm, oh yeah, no, we're just gonna end right there. We had a neutral week. It wasn't good, wasn't bad. That's it, pretty much.
Alrighty then. My first high for me is that today I had a pretty good like schoolwork day. I was really grinding my stuff that I was due tomorrow. So I felt really good, getting all that stuff done. Felt really accomplished today. So that's definitely a high for me because I needed that. Just like straight grind session. My low is that this morning I woke up and my ear was killing me. I don't know why, but I was like, why is my ear hurting right now? Like this is not cool. Got into the shower and it started to feel better. So it's just a not an ideal way to wake up in the morning, but it is what it is. And then my last high is that I've started to work on like a nice little workout plan. Start working out again.
Okay.
There you go.
Grind season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see if I stick to that. I'll try my hardest.
We finna hold you to it. Don't worry.
Right. I'll give y'all an
Definitely.
update.
Dang. But you know what's crazy is like a little bit exciting for. Wait, that was your second eye, right?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. I didn't want to interrupt. Like
No,
something
you're
that's been a little bit exciting for me is shirt's been fitting a little bit tighter as of recent. That's what's exciting. But
I
yeah,
gotta gain more weight to be doing that because I can grow my it can be as toned as possible, but it's not gonna move up unless I gain weight.
Mhm.
Darn.
bro, struggles
yeah,
of
carbo load.
Anyways.
yeah, all right, y'all.
Uh,
So coming to today, um, funny you should mention that the CSU chancellor Tofi, because what we're talking about today is college. More specifically, we're gonna introduce y'all to something, hopefully one of many, but this is gonna be our first series on the podcast. So um topic of today will not be a finite one. We'll continue it later on in future episodes, but this is gonna be the first installment today. And it's basically gonna be a series about college during COVID and like what's different, what's changed, good, bad, ugly, all all that stuff. So we can honestly, because there's low key a lot, we can start from the transition to COVID, COVID in first semester, COVID in this semester, stuff that still doesn't sit right, class being online. So I'll got any suggestions? If not, we can just start at the top and work our way down.
We can start from the top.
All right.
yeah, we can do that.
Excuse me. So yeah, man. Very soon on Snapchat, everybody's gonna get those 1 year ago for when classes either got suspended or canceled for y'all, and it's already been a year. That's crazy. Um,
That's
I feel
weird.
like right, like I feel like it's either flown by or like been very slow, or it's flown by, but when you think about it, it's been really slow. But for like the first day that classes were canceled, like the whole campus was like turning up. There's no worry
Yeah.
about homework. There's no worry about class. It was literally the move. Then by the end of the week,
Yeah.
how
It's so
quick things
ironic too.
how quick things change.
Mm.
And then yeah, and then class online. It was like even then, people were still like, well, we can just. We were pretty much like people like friends on my floor of my dorm were like, yeah, even though class online, like we're still gonna stay here, like because at that time the university hadn't told us that we were going to get a refund for the housing that we eventually weren't going to stay for. So we were like, I mean, they're not gonna like give us a refund. We're gonna stay here, like use our campus dollars, campus points, spend it how we can, that kind of thing. And then once again, like things just changed so quick. Literally by the end of that week, most of the people on my floor had already like moved out or out to go back home. So the start to COVID was like so like abrupt. You thought you were gonna do
Oh, for
something,
real.
something changed, and then the backup, you did another backup, and DE. So yeah, that's how mine started.
I mean, for me, I definitely, like you said, I remember like everyone finding out, like all my roommates in the dorms, like being like, "Oh, like school's canceled, like let's fucking turn up." And like literally, it's literally exactly what you said. Like literally a week and a half later, they were like, "Oh no, y'all gotta get out. Y'all gotta go home." It's like, thanks for letting us know. Literally, I mean, I shouldn't really be complaining because I know Topi's situation that happened, but it was still, like, man, it was tough. It was definitely a tough transition. You get so used to, being up there and kind of doing things your own way, and then boom, COVID hits, and just everything just gets messed up. Literally everything just gets, um, yeah, like just messed up. It's crazy, man. It's just we're living through a historical event, and I,
We
Crazy
I don't know
are.
if
enough.
any, I don't know if anyone asked for this to happen, but it's tough, especially for
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, that beginning phase was so weird with all this. Like the transition was so strange. It's like every school like runs off a different like time schedule as far as like breaks and stuff, but I've mentioned it before, like I was mid spring break, so it was weird because I had a bunch of friends that went home. I'd say majority of my friend group did, and I'm sure most students did as well. It's a week off. People want to go back home or go somewhere else, take a vacation, you name it. And I was just chilling in my dorm because I was on the baseball coverage team for ASU. So like I was a writer, so like I would go to the games and write about the recaps. So like that was like my plan. I was gonna stay there and do that because that's a responsibility, and I got to be able to be reliable for that. And then it all hit, and it's just crazy because my dad was actually down for other I think work reasons, and then he just spent a couple days. We went to some of the spring training baseball games, and I think that the biggest moment for like knowing how significant the world was of course Rudy Gobert testing positive with the NBA. That's where it really went downhill. But just being at a spring training game, knowing this is gonna be the last game that I get to go to for a long time, both ASU for like my coverage team and just for like a game in general. And then sure enough, me and the few friends that were still on campus were just like, what the heck? Like we were all in like a hotel room just watching all the stuff unfold on the news. All of a sudden my friend got an email because our president of our school like sent a school-wide email notifying the fact that we'd have like a week or so off. It was just such a weird situation because we didn't have any details really. They were very vague because it was all so new. And then sure enough, everyone's trying to figure out how to move out, They're trying to figure out how to get their stuff into storage units. And it was a little chaotic because yeah, like the immediate reaction, like you guys were saying, is like yeah, people are excited because like you don't have to like do like work or homework. Like that's kind of like not as significant at the time, but it's just a weird situation considering like the time frame in which it happened more than anything.
That's facts.
My situation is a little bit different.
Yeah.
The thing about mine is like we like you guys immediately got out of school as far as I know, or like in-person classes. We were in person like was it March 12th? That's when like was it like the first US case and then or whatever, or not the first like widely known, or
Well,
that's the most
yeah,
popular.
the first
I don't know.
one was actually in Tempe, so like that was really close to me. So I was like, oh damn, this is real.
The first one at SDSU was like March 11th, and we were going to classes up until we got that. So we were in classes until like 13th, I think. Then they finally
Bold.
let us go out. I was like, I don't know what they were. All the
So
we were
bold to keep
emailing
y'all in
the
class like
faculty,
that.
we're
For
like,
real.
let's
Yeah.
let us get out of class because UCSD immediately, as soon as they had somebody in San Diego, they just cut off school altogether. And then we were still in person classes for like 3 days after. So then when we finally got off, we're like, yeah, this is gonna be good, right? That Monday,
Nope.
we were chilling like we were good, cool for like 2-3 days, I think, because we got off like on a was it a Friday? Yeah, Friday. So then when it hit like Monday, we're like, oh, we got in-person classes. Then they're like, oh, you guys can move out. We're giving refunds.
Y'all
And
gonna
then a lot of
leave.
people started moving out. Like, okay. I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna move out too. Then I like all of a sudden I get an email. Like I was just chilling. I was eating like some wings and things. Everybody from San Diego, y'all know that. I was eating some wings already, and then like I got an email that said, "Oh, everybody is forced to get out and move out of the dorms tomorrow." I'm like, huh?
What did he say?
I was like, I looked at my phone like, what? I'm like, I was so like, no, I had to start packing that same day too. It was crazy because my dad was supposed to come help me like pack up and leave and get all my stuff back up in NorCal. Yeah, he had like a flight, or no, he was supposed to drive, I think. But then because of that, we had to fly here, so that was a waste of money. I had a flight plan too, so that I was supposed to fly back there, so we wasted so much money. And then yeah, he had to fly, get a rental car, help me pick up all my stuff. Oh my god. And then the next we were just out. It was just so quick. I don't know. Like it's that whole week was just so weird. It's like a blur in my memory how quick everything went by. So it was, I don't know, crazy.
Sorry, I gotta interrupt real quick just because my camera cut out, so I have to give some audio so I can sync it up later. So, my fault.
Great.
Continue.
Yeah, no, that was it. That was my experience. First time I heard about COVID.
So following that is me, John, and Tofi. We're all in the CSU system, Cal State system, right? Sonoma, San Jose, and San Diego. But even though we're all in the same system, like things were done pretty differently. And mine at San Jose. So for the dorms in particular, they never closed the dorms. They were pretty much like, if you don't have a reason to stay, you should leave. But until the end of the semester, they really never force anybody. So I know that some people, because of traveling difficulties, financial costs, like literally, some people stayed until the end of the semester. And like, I have mixed feelings about it because I know that like on the opposite hand, like you have schools like Tofi's. I remember I heard about Stanford. Stanford was I think it was like same day. I don't even think they told the students that classes were just going to be postponed. I think they were literally just like, oh, it's in California. All right, y'all got to go. Like same day. Not even like at the beginning of the day, like in the afternoon.
Damn.
So like it was wild.
But you said that was at Stanford?
Yeah.
Harvard was way worse. They literally kicked them out the day. The
Yeah.
day they heard about cases, they just kicked them all out. I was like,
No,
Yeah.
y'all
They
need to
didn't-
get out.
They didn't hesitate. They were quick.
they didn't even give them a day to pack. They just kicked them out that same day. I'm like, wow.
That's so foul.
Yeah, that's
that
really
was-
messed up.
And like there's a lot of things that you can learn from this. Like, it's one thing to be apprehensive and cautious about a new country, but the logistics were obviously hindsight. You can always say like, oh, y'all should have done this better, y'all should have done that different. But was it really the best idea to kick everybody out the same day? Like,
Yeah,
you couldn't have
you
like
couldn't give like a buffer time or like
be like
no
by
time
the
for people to like actually get their things and shit.
right, like at the end of the week, 3 days, even at least like
Yeah.
the next day, not the same day. Like,
Yeah, I don't know
U Haul closes in 50 minutes, bro. I don't know how I'm finna get my stuff out.
Yeah, I don't know why schools be doing that, like, oh, same day, y'all gotta get out. Like, I don't like it's not I just don't understand why they don't give a time, like a set amount of time, like, oh, like a couple days, even like you said, like the next day y'all gotta be out. But kind of speaking on that, I had a roommate, quick tangent, sorry. But I had a
Go
roommate
for
who lived in San Diego who went to Sonoma, and he actually was able to stay at like the dorms for I think it was like a week or something like that. But then he had to stay an additional week like at a hotel in Sonoma to wait for like a flight to San Diego. So I know like that was tough to hear about, like that he basically had to stay there for 2 extra weeks, like after everyone else left, just before he can even go home. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's tough. Like
that
I
was the
couldn't
same
imagine
thing.
myself in that situation.
Yeah, like it's crazy that you mentioned that because like yeah, I knew some people too. Some of my friends, they stayed there. I don't know how long exactly. Like I don't want to like throw out a random number, but I would guess maybe like a month or so. Just like again, keep in mind like with ASU, like the refunds were kind of like they handled it kind of strange because it was like also different. Like a lot because like they wanted people to move out, but at the same time, like they weren't going to force you at first. Like if you wanted to stay in the dorms, they were going to try and keep the dining halls open so that you could at least use your meal swipes, get food, and like continue to live there while doing classes virtually. So like that was an available option, but for the most part, most people did go back. So like you mentioned with him, like there were some people who did stick around a little bit, and then ultimately, like with all the schools, everyone was forced to move out. Like they had to get all their stuff, either get a storage unit or bring it all home. Which for some people living on like the East Coast, like New York, New Jersey, or even like Chicago in
Yeah,
that
that's
area, like
tough.
that's pretty hard. Like that's a lot of stuff. Storage units aren't cheap either, so like it was kind of a double-edged sword as far as pick your poison, which one you want to do. But being in California, it's not too bad. Flight's pretty quick. It's convenient, but for some people, not so much. Especially with like people being afraid to get on planes because early on that was like the biggest fear is like, oh well, people are gonna get it and transmit it to each other since you're so close. And this was before like all the health and safety protocols like kicked in and they figured stuff out to make it a little bit better. So like it really just puts people in weird situations. Like it's just so weird thinking back to it because like I moved out pretty quickly, and like I was just talking to my dad. He's like, "Well, what do you want to do? Like, do you want to just go back home with me?" And I'm like, "I mean, maybe." Because at first I didn't think it was that big a deal. So I'm like, I could probably just stick around. Like I think I'm fine. Kind of the thought process almost everyone had. Ultimately went home. Ultimately went home though, and it was the right call because it would have been a lot harder had I not. But it's interesting situation for some people to be in.
Biggest like lie of the year. 2 weeks and we'll be back.
Oh, it's an extended spring break.
Mhm.
You're really thinking like
Every
we're gonna
school
come
said
back after
that.
spring break. I'm like,
Yeah, they're
bro.
just trying to buy time.
I mean,
That was not enough.
I didn't even have spring break yet. I think I still had like another week and a half to go. So I was like, oh, word, like 2 weeks, spring break after?
Say less.
It's easy. Like, it's good.
Oh yeah.
Little did you know. That's gonna be the last
Gosh.
time you're gonna be there.
For real. I think, I left like later because I think it was like on a Monday. I think I probably left like Saturday. Yeah, wow. And then like when everything settled, it's like, oh, all right, y'all, like get on Zoom, got to go back to class, and like you had okay, so like you had teachers that were good, teachers like, oh, Zoom, like, you know what I'm saying, like that's like a little bit of adjustment, but I would do it. You had teachers that were like, oh, Zoom, yeah, I mean, I've heard it, I've done it before, but like I haven't, I don't really know like what I'm doing. I need a little bit of education. Then you got teachers that like barely even know how to work Canvas, so like getting them to go on Zoom was like, oh, brother.
Oh yeah, it's a struggle.
Luckily for me, I had most of my teachers were like good, the adjustment. So it was PowerPoints on the Zoom, show up, take notes. Um I think we probably had like what two, like you probably have like about two more midterms for the average class at the final. Um but like it's not, shout out to all my professors that like actually adjusted to COVID and not just transitioned to COVID. One of my professors well canceled the midterm, but she kind of like mashed it up with the final, but like at least I didn't have to worry about it until final day. um Professors were like, take it easy, open note on the it was gonna be open note anyways, but at least they said it. So open note on the test. I still will not forgive the chemistry department at San Jose State for just atrocious learning conditions. Cause like, so I took chemistry. I had lab, and we couldn't be in person, so they said it online. So like, pretty much it's not hard in theory, right? Like you already have the lab manual, you have the procedures, you have the instructions. All that's left to do is for you to actually do the lab. Except for the fact that like you can't hold anything, you can't touch anything, so it all had to be done on pictures and videos. Easy enough. But what they would do is they'd be like, all right, so pour 50 milliliters of this with 25 milliliters of that. Watch the reaction happen, see like what bubbles up, how much liquid is left over. But they would take a picture of the beaker like dead ass like 3 feet away. So I'd have to like zoom in on the browser, have all like the pixelated lines, and I'd be like with my pencil on the screen, be like counting. I'm like, I get that you want us to like get the experience, but oh my gosh, and it's like our grade. So in the way they grade us is like, if you have like millimeters off, if you don't have the right decimal, there's like
nah.
the margin of error was
Yeah,
very
that's too
slight.
specific.
I'm still like,
that reminds me of reminds me of my bio class, because like you said, you had a lab for like chem, and like I guess just science in general. Most classes have labs. It was the same for me. Like you just have to look at these directions and do it on your own. You got to go buy all these materials. I'm like, man, I already pay so much money for your textbooks. I pay so much money for your class, and you're gonna make me go buy the stuff for the lab. It's just like, that made me so upset. I dreaded that class so much.
don't even get me started on the fact that we have to buy supplies for our own class when we already paid to it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's a scam if I've ever seen
Yeah,
one.
that ain't it. They already
Oh
get
my
enough money out
God.
of us.
and right
But
now, no, go for it. You good.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say like now paying tuition for online class, not even using the full facility. Like I know the school saves dummy amounts on PG&E because the classrooms ain't open. Like cut us it. Can we have a break?
I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah, all those facilities that we don't get to use. Like that's like a huge portion of like tuition and stuff. Like obviously like the learning and like the professors and all the staff members getting like salaries, of course, but like a big part of why tuition is so expensive, especially depending on where you go, is based on like what kind of luxuries you have, whether it's like fitness centers, whether it's like libraries or like research centers, stuff like that to help you with school or like with keeping yourself in shape and like mental and physical wellness. So, like as soon as those places close down, it's like, why am I still paying this much money? Like I don't get to use them. That's the whole point of paying for them. All those extra
For
things,
real.
amenities.
Hmm. Man, if we're talking about like classes at the first, like run at the transition of COVID, I mean, mine honestly they weren't even that bad. The professors honestly adjusted pretty well. All of them did. Some of them just like took off a day in class. Others just like overloaded us with PowerPoints. But
Oh, those
but
professors. I got words for those
They're
professors.
just like, here's the slides. Take notes. Do whatever you
Yeah.
want.
yeah, but I mean, it was not that bad. I thought it was cool at first, to be honest with you, because I was like, oh, it's way easier to get good grades. But after like as soon as the second or fall semester last year hit, I was like, this is terrible because like I can't even. It's
Same.
so bad. Like I'm trying to like actually learn. Right, I learn way better. I'm a visual learner, so in like lectures, that's where I actually learn my material. I don't learn by like you know, online lectures. It's not, no, it doesn't feel like a classroom setting. It's terrible. It just feels like I'm just regurgitating information. Just, I don't know. It's not actually getting in my brain. So
Yeah.
I just hate it.
I feel that heavily. I would definitely feel that same way. Like, kind of like what you were saying, how like at the beginning you're like happy that like, oh, everything's online, like it's gonna be so easy, blah blah blah. Kind of another story to go along with that. But for my English class, um, last year, we were supposed to be like, uh, one day out of the week, we were supposed to be teaching the class about a subject, and I was dreading that assignment that the whole year. And then COVID hit, and I was like, bet I don't got to stand in front of class and look like an idiot. This is gonna be great. Like everything's gonna be online. But yeah, definitely like you were saying now, like it's online's tough. I definitely miss going to like lecture halls and like being there, like, focusing only on that. Except like now, there's 50 million distractions. Like you're way less motivated now because like it's on Zoom. Like you're in your room. Like shit's gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, the transition, kind of, yeah, I probably agree with what Toby said. Kind of, it wasn't terrible. Some of the teachers like had their shit together. Like they're like, all right, we're gonna have Zoom classes, and I'm gonna post everything, let you guys know about everything that's coming up. Being really helpful. And then uh, I went one professor. I can't remember which class it was for, but yeah, just like the complete non-technological type, don't know how to work any sort of technology. And it was it was so rough. But um, yeah, it was all right. The transition was, I mean, it could have been worse, but it's online
Dang.
school either
So
way.
wait, I got stuck on that one thing. So like so for your English class, you have to like go the whole class period teaching your class.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you basically the
That
whole
sounds
class,
hard.
bro. That's what I'm saying. The whole class period was dedicated to you teaching the class about
Oh
a subject, and you
no,
would actually
thank
like
you.
they would actually be able to like ask questions. You have to like answer them. Like you're essentially the
Oh,
teacher for the day. It's essentially what it is.
that's honestly like that's
it was
tough
it was
because
terrible. Trust.
I had I don't was it my midterm? I don't know. Like for one of my journalism classes, it's like we do a presentation and it had to be at minimum 20 minutes. And like 20 minutes is a lot of time to talk,
Oh,
Like
for
honestly for a
real.
presentation, like it's hard to like think of stuff that's relevant and like not kind of just like run in circles and repeat yourself all the time. Like teaching an entire class for the day and
Yeah, in the
having to
class.
like know the answer to like people's questions. Oh, no thanks.
Yeah, and the class was like an hour 15, I think, if I remember correctly. So
Oh,
like,
Yikes. It's not
yeah,
even a
Rough.
yeah,
that's
15
it was
minutes.
rough. It was
brutal.
rough. Hey, but one good thing out of COVID is that I didn't have to do that. So,
Damn.
appreciate that. But yeah, now it's like, fuck you, COVID, go away.
You know what's crazy? You know what I
Right.
really just thought about though? like all the freshmen that just came into college, they think it's so easy. We at least got the first semester experience of how to deal with all the stress and stuff. But
Mhm.
when they go back, it's gonna be a reality
They're
check,
about
bro.
to be
It's
so
so bad.
lost. Yeah.
Like, because at least we got used to it for
Yeah.
one whole semester, but
Yeah, we know
oh
how it
my
is. Yeah,
goodness.
yeah.
So we
Like,
can just
Yeah.
get back in the flow. But wow.
Damn, I didn't even think about it like that.
I
That's
just saw
neither.
like a videos of a kid talking about that. I was like, dude, that's actually so true. I feel so bad for you guys. Oh my goodness.
I mean, uh, my first semester, freshman year, was like easy, right? Like, getting adjusted to college. Like, they usually try to get you like the most adjustable classes. But my ambitious self, next semester took four major classes, and
oof.
my chemistry 1A, and the beginning, like back. We start school late, so we started like last week of January, right? So we probably had like only a month and 2 weeks max, probably like 6 weeks max of class that semester before online, and I'm on my P's and Q's. I'm talking about like no distractions in class. I don't like the girls that sat next to me. Like they just knew once class started. Like it's me, the teacher, and the board, right? Like I was reading my books, taking my notes, reviewing my notes. But like I would get to class early, review my notes from last class, like start thinking about what we're gonna talk about for the next session. I'm like primed, like because like those classes were pretty serious. Like they're the classes that when you don't pass them, you can't take the next classes. So
Oh yeah, so
and
you need to pass that shit.
Yeah,
right,
that's tough.
and one of my classes was biopsychology, which is like the hard. It's arguably the hardest under lower division college class for a psych major.
Okay.
And like, well, you know what I'm saying, I put out like a 94, 96 in that class. But
quick flex.
the first midterm was man, like reading the books, studying the notes, like the hard work paid off. Like I got like a very high grade on the midterm, but like the work ethic was so intense. And then COVID hit. Now I'm online. Now one class
Grade
was
just going.
no, the grade stayed,
Oh,
but it was
I thought you were
like
saying it was gonna drop.
the amount of effort that it took to keep the grades the same was
Okay, I
ridiculous.
see what you're saying.
Like I had
Oh,
one of my classes that she did pre-recorded. I had one that kept it live. I had one God, yeah, no, I think most of them kept it live except one that was pre-recorded. But now I found out like, man, I'm on my laptop now. Same material, you know what I'm saying? Like same progression, but now it's like phone sitting next to me, saying like my room, like oh, I didn't even notice I had that one crack on you know like
Those are the
now,
smallest shit.
yeah, now I got online assignments. It's like I could just open up another tab and cuz like bro like cuz I didn't even have like that I couldn't hang out with my friends in the dorm. Like I'm bored all the time, so it's like I'm like I find something to do. It's time for class. Like I had a 9 a.m. I'm waking up 8:55. You know what I'm saying? Like barely making it in. I'm probably missing like introductory statements, just getting in time for the lecture, and man, just I don't remember a single assignment I did that semester. Like at this point, it's all just like a blur in the past.
yeah, that's the crazy thing about that part. And the thing I'm most scared for, like I said, is readjusting. I don't know how I'm gonna be because I don't even because the first semester I was like I was on it. I was on my stuff. I was like I
Right?
was not playing. And then now it's like,
Yeah.
how did I ever do that? Like I'm confused. Like where did I get the
Yeah,
energy to do all
honestly,
of that? Like
that's a
what?
good point.
And have a social life in the middle of it too. So I'm like, huh? How did I balance all of that? Now it's I
Yeah.
don't know how I'm ever do that. That's just what I'm
That's
most scared for
honestly
going back
so
and doing
true
that.
though. I so feel that though because like I didn't really think twice about it when I was doing it, like cuz like that's what normal life had always been. But, like, I think, like, to this semester for, like, this year, for sophomore year, it's like I did, like, a virtual internship because, like, they never opened up physically, like, the place that I did it at. So, like, I just did social media stuff and posted stuff and emailed back and forth as far as, like, what I needed to do for daily tasks. It was pretty easy. Like, that's a very manageable kinda internship to do without being around people, like, physically speaking, but like, it's kinda weird though, cause like, just the convenience of being going back and forth to campus because when I decided to live, like, off campus in Tempe as opposed to downtown Phoenix, which is, like, 20 minutes away, I made that decision pre-COVID, thinking I would just have to commute on the public, systems through, like, the light rail system, little train that goes through the cities. So, like, I thought that, I just had to dedicate time and really plan out my schedule well so that I could have time to do that in between classes, and like I just can't imagine having done that like this semester. Like, maybe like as far as this semester, since I do have some classes which I can go to physically, it's been pretty easy to do that. It's not a hard transition, but like I feel like for the first semester of this year in particular, I feel like that would have been almost impossible, and that probably seems a little bit like dumb to say because like my schedule was pretty full, but like it wasn't anything like crazy, but it just kinda it gave off that vibe, so, like, it is gonna be a little bit weird trying to, like, replicate the amount of work we put in while also, like, bouncing around to do everything physically because it's really different because it's so convenient to just hop on your laptop and then switch over to the next tab, hop into another class, but it won't be quite the same thing.
Hmm.
Man, I don't even know what it's gonna be like going back. Well, because Tofi said earlier that the CSU system was talking about in-person class next semester, but earlier this year, San Jose State individual said that they already planning to have in-person class next semester. So I think one way or another, I'm gonna be in person next semester, and it's like not even talking about the social aspect of like who got vaccinated, who didn't get vaccinated, who had COVID in the past. Just like the academic standpoint, it's like, man, going back to class, like sitting in a class, and then like you start thinking about like, damn, how many people like sat in this desk before me, like, you know what I'm saying, like who touched what, like who flicked boogers, like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, and then it's like in class, like I don't know, like I feel like it's not worth thinking about considering we've done it our whole lives. We've just taken this year break and being online, so I feel like give it a couple weeks and we'll be back to normal. But yeah, we'll definitely have like a different outlook on a whole lot of things because of it.
No, I definitely agree.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, 100%.
yeah, going back, like, I know for me personally, it's gonna like be just so weird. Just as like, I don't know if you guys know this, but Sonoma is also like it's a fire zone. You know, like the wildfires.
Yeah.
It's a hot area down there. No pun intended. Sorry, but yeah. So like, we've kind of had to evacuate before, but obviously this is way, 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 way different. Just because like the duration of how long, but no, I definitely agree with what you're saying about how just like the transition is going to be, or the transition going back, I should say, is going to be definitely a challenge, definitely something to get over. But like Parker was saying, and we were all saying, we've kind of experienced it already. So yeah, I'm feeling it won't be that hard, but it's going to have its challenges for sure.
Yeah, there's just so many weird things, like, that's what's so crazy about all this, because like, when you get used to, like, a certain schedule or like normalize like certain things in life. Like you don't think twice about it. It's just second nature. But like all the second nature stuff that we had known forever, like just going to class, being around people, interacting with people, going to the movie theater, going to sporting events, and sitting right next to thousands of people,
Oh,
like all that's like weird now. It's like we question it. So like when we go into like a classroom, like lectures and stuff, and you have like 100 people sitting around in that room, it's gonna be so weird taking that seat and looking around and seeing the seats fill up, no masks on, nothing. Teachers are, doing their presentations and speaking to you like face to face, and it's gonna be so weird because it's such a weird thing to like question or like think this is strange because like that's what we've done our whole lives. But, like when you go this long a time where like you transition to being virtual and you're not doing these things, all of a sudden it's like the new norm. So it's gonna feel like it's kind of how COVID did, almost, in a sense, where it's like all new to us almost again.
And quick tangent, like not necessarily about school, but I know a lot of people are like, yeah, like when COVID opens back up, like I don't know if I can do the same stuff that I used to do before, like crowded events, this and that. And like me personally, I feel like I will. Like I don't feel like, because the thing is like what the difference is that now people have propensity to carry disease that can kill you, whereas before, like, yeah, there were a lot of crowded people, but like nothing can happen to you. Like everybody has the general antibodies in their system to most you're gonna get is a cold. Maybe if it's flu season, if you think you're shot. And like if we go back to that, then if COVID's like not a, you know, if we fast forward to a point in time where COVID isn't an easily transferable sickness, then it's like I feel like, well, you know, what's no danger anymore, right? Like, but you know, like doing it for so long, you're definitely right. Not everything's gonna be the same. Like after this, hopefully, one thing that I hope stays is all the sanitation on public transportation. Like that,
Damn, for real.
that has been severely neglected before COVID. Like I remember I saw a tweet. It was like a New York station. Now it gets like I don't know. I don't know if they said daily or like hourly. And like before, who's gonna like wipe down the whole subway? Only like the floors, seats, maybe the windows if they get a little dirty. But when you look back at it, it's like damn, like all these people, no one was seeing it at all.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing that I hope COVID like really pushes on just everyone in general. Really, is just like having a more clean lifestyle. Like, you know, make sure you're like wiping stuff down, and you know, maybe you're definitely gonna get some of those people who still wear masks, even if you know it's like, oh, like we're all COVID free, whatever it may be. But yeah, that's definitely one thing. Is just um like you said, like public transportation or like restaurants and you know other places like that, just like stay clean, wipe shit down, you know, make sure that nothing like this ever happens again, because if it does, like that's gonna be so tough. but yeah, that's definitely one thing that I hope really like gets in people's heads when this is all over.
Bro, do you think there's gonna be like a cult of that stay wearing masks until the day they die after this? Like low key, like
I wouldn't be surprised.
because you know, like with every major event, you know what I'm saying? Like there's like people who wore tin foil on their heads, flat earthers, you know what I'm saying? Like this is a very like big event. Like you never know. There could be like a cult or a group of people after this would be like, nah, like COVID is never leaving. COVID is in like the world forever. So like they wear masks till the day they die.
I mean,
I mean, you know, like
possible. You know, like it's funny that you bring up the tinfoil on the people's heads. That's funny, but I guess you know it could be possible that you know after all this is said and done, you know people are still out there thinking, oh, COVID's all around us still. You know, it's in the air, whatever, air particles or whatever the fuck they say. I definitely think it's possible. You know, some crazy people out there in the world that do a lot worse or do weirder things. So I wouldn't be surprised.
the opposite of an anti-masker.
What would you call that?
Pro-masker.
Pro-masker.
Y'all ever think about this? Like I just went to you just be like you go get it. You just go to get gas, bro. You just put your hand on the gas pump.
No, no, sir.
How many people have touched?
No, sir.
Like, how dirty?
Since the day I started driving, I've never touched a gas pump.
What you do? You be getting the paper towels?
I be getting the napkin.
Put it on that thing?
Yeah. Before COVID, since I got my permit, but even before I got my permit, like my parents would be like, if you ever think about touching that gas pump, just don't even get
It's on
gas.
site. You might as well just leave.
That's
Just
crazy.
walk.
Like, you
Just
never
don't even
really
use the car.
thought
Yeah,
about
you might as well just walk home.
like you just never thought about that stuff until now. Like I just thought about it. I was like, bro, that's so disgusting, bro. I really did that. I'm like, bro.
Hmm.
So there's some good things that came out of it, a lot of good things, and a lot of bad things. So you know, it's an experience. That's all I gotta say about it.
Mm-hmm.
Any last comments?
I mean, I think we
Little pause.
yeah, it was a little kind of awkward, but we're not going to talk about it. I mean, I said everything that I wanted to talk about. Got everything off my chest.
Yeah, I'm good.
We good.
I'm good.
I'm done. I'm finished.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, this is we'll call this episode 1, part 1.
What you want to? Are we naming the series?
Yeah, I think we'll call some like college and COVID. We'll find some kind of catchy name for it. But basically, yeah, this was episode 1. The beginning transition. Next time we come to y'all with this series, it'll probably be like first semester college, how that felt. Like we'll upon that. It won't be next week though. It'll be sometime in the future. Come back and find out.
Mm-hmm.
Keep post notifications on.
Facts.
Yeah.
Damn, I hope I can get that animation working because I did want to get one of those like subscribe and post notification little
The
add-ons.
little bell. Make sure you press the
Yeah,
bell.
hit the bell, hit the bell, y'all. But yeah, like I say, come mess with us on Twitch. On Twitch, we be streaming, getting dubs. We never get dub. Let me not say that. We always get dubs on Twitch. It's just that we get more dubs when we're off Twitch. Like performing anxiety and all that. So
yeah.
come on Twitch. We'll get a dubs together.
Yeah. All of us, group effort.
Facts. Follow the social medias. You know what I'm saying? Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. All the platforms that we podcast on. I you know what I'm saying? I gotta go through the mental list real quick. Yeah, I think that's it. And any last words from anybody?
Oh, let us know down in the comments if you have any other like series ideas or just anything, any other ideas you want us to talk about on here. Let us know down in the comments, in the DMs. Send them over to our PR guy. He'll review it, get it to us. Be a great time. So make sure leave comments.
Facts. Drop a like, you know what I'm saying, the whole 9. Share this with that one adult that thinks that college students are overreacting. Share that with them. That changed their mind.
And for you that's watching, if this is you, fuck you. No, it's fine.
I hope you've learned that like your child wasn't acting wild like most college students
do like
real.
This.
Yeah,
this shit is real.
But as they say, who is they? Don't worry about it. But as they say, there's a lot to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Old, new, underrated, overrated. So let's talk about it. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace. That's wild to me, bro. Why'd you clown me like that?
What do you mean?